This podcast is brought to you by Most Valuable Podcasts, saving your day from boredom with the best podcasting entertainment.
What's up? Real MVPs, Ricky Widmer here, and welcome into another wrestling PLE, wrestling pay-per-view, however you want to call it. We're here, I'm here, with my co-host, Soapy Muffins. Soapy, how you doing?
Doing good, how are you?
You know what? I am nervous for this one because I'm stepping out of my box a little bit. I've been, so this is obviously, you see it from the title, you see it from the stuff around us. We're doing the predictions for AEW Dynasty. I'm not pulling out the Hulk Hogan, oh yeah, brother, because AEW, Hulk Hogan never spent time in AEW.
Down, bro.
What you doing over there, bruv? You afraid of the grind there, bruv?
We're just gonna turn into Sheamus there.
You're gonna hit them Sheamus in there. We're gonna turn into bad Will Ospreys by the end of the show. But Soapy on our back predicting wrestling pay-per-views. We did WrestleMania. We did Stand and Deliver. This is the next one up. We got this one, then Backlash after it. Soapy, we're gonna change the rules a little bit. It's not a big rule change, but we're changing the rules. We're going to add pre-show matches to the predictions, mainly because, one, AEW loves their pre-show matches, and yes, it's going to be, what, like, not realistically, but like half the card. Oh, we're not predicting it because it's on the pre-show. We have 3 pre-show matches.
At least, like, what about like a third of the told matches? Because it's up to 10, I think?
12. So a fourth. Okay, yeah. A fourth of the show.
Yeah.
A fourth of the show would be gone if we did not do it. But before we get into everything, quick condensed housekeeping. Discord link is down below if you want to support us. Patreon link is down below as well. Comment down below with your predictions along with us. Hit that sub button, that like button. And also, if you like AEW, you want to hear us talk about AEW, our last episode of Heel Talk, Soapy, has kind of taken a little bit of a skyrocket as people like the all-in footage. They like the little, I'm going to say tribalism, even though there was no tribalism between either of us in that. We also got called Marks, which I don't know. Being called a Mark is never a bad thing to me, right?
I mean, it's supposed to be a bad thing. I don't care. Realistically, for anyone who thinks calling someone a mark matters, you went and actively looked up a wrestling podcast talking about news. I'm sorry, buddy. You're just as much of a mark as I am.
Oh, I saw that. It said LOL, period, which first off, why are we putting the period after LOL? And then marks. And I was like, yeah, but I'm proud of being a mark. I'm not afraid of being a mark. I know it's fake. I'm not a kid. I'm not a little wee kid. But Soapy, let's get into, these people are probably like, guys, stop, get into the predictions. Let's talk about some AEW Dynasty. First match on the card. We've got pre-show match numero uno, the Acclaimed, which is the AEW Trios champs, going up against Bullet Club Gold, which is Jay White and the Guns, the ROH Trios champs. Winner of this match, the titles become one. Soapy, what are your thoughts on this? Because is this finally the time where the Acclaim gets dethroned and we move on to something else in their storyline?
I think we actually do move on to something new. I think this is going to be an end of an era of one of, at one point, the most loved tag teams in AEW. Now, kind of, since Max Caster keeps being a goofball.
And forgetting his raps.
And, forgetting his raps, saying some stuff he probably shouldn't say.
Uh-huh.
Like when he went on the Indies and had brought up the Vince McMahon stuff.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, I'm going to treat you like Vince McMahon. And it's just like, okay, buddy, let's not joke about something like that. But I definitely think we are going to see a major thing. I mean, obviously, I'll give my answer. I think Bullet Club Gold is going to win. And I do think we see the Acclaimed breakup, as I think Max Caster is going to leave the Acclaimed.
Do you think and first off, in the video, people are like, whoa, Ricky, what was popping up on your side? I forgot to turn my microphone up. system wise. And I was like, because I'm looking, I'm like, wow, I'm kind of really low. So now my volume should be correct. Do you think we get a post-match attack and the Acclaim break up at the show, or do they wait till Dynamite?
I think they break up at the show.
Okay.
I think, and the reason I think that is, one, a lot of people still love Bowens. Mm-hmm. It's going to take so much to make people not like Bowens.
Yeah.
And realistically, people also still love Billy Gunn. I know, obviously, Billy Gunn beating Jay White was an absolute crackhead move.
Mm-hmm.
But, like, people still love Billy Gunn. It's just, it's hard to hate Billy Gunn, especially when he's interested in something. He's one of the more, like, funny people in wrestling.
Could we get an Anthony Bowens singles push after this?
I think so. I think there's a very real chance we do. Especially with the fact of, obviously, a lot of it's going to depend on Bowens' health.
Mm-hmm.
The main reason why, for a little bit there, that the start-stop push for the Acclaimed was happening was because Bowens kept getting hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah, because Bowens is one of those people that it's like, he's really good and everyone loves him. He has some health issues, especially just, with injuries happening and things like that. So, like, I definitely think we see a world to where either him and Billy Gunn just become a tag team, or Billy Gunn kind of uses this to transition out of being a wrestler. Who knows? I mean, this is Billy Gunn. He's still
what if he reunites with his sons?
Let's not put the ass boys back together.
Oh, Daddy comes home.
I definitely think it's going to be that. I definitely think Bullet Club Gold's taking the win here, and I think it's going to be like, it may be a post-match beatdown. It could be a thing that waits till Dynamite. Who knows?
Yeah.
But, like, I definitely do think the Acclaimed are going to break up in one shape or another.
Yeah, I'm shocker. I'm gonna follow you. I don't know if I said this in the before we got to the predictions. I'm playing a strategic match here because coming in, I am 3 up on you after WrestleMania and WrestleMania Stand and Deliver. You and I hit the same exact card. Yeah. We're not quite gonna be that this time, but I've strategically picked my spots in order to stay with my lead. I'm agreeing with you in the fact Bullet Club Gold gets the win. I think they will win this match. They'll be the unified champs, and then we move forward from there. The next match we've got on the table, we've got Trent Beretta versus Matt Sydal. Soapy, what are your thoughts heading into this one? A little bit of a singles match on the pre-show.
Yeah, I definitely think that going into this one, it is definitely going to be obviously AEW doesn't book squash matches, but this is definitely going to be a Trent Beretta's winning this by far.
Yeah.
Mostly because the fact that Trent Beretta had recently just turned heel, he has turned on the Best Friends, he's no longer with Orange Cassidy, and for anyone who doesn't know the story of it, because there's people on Twitter who don't know, it was Matt Sydal had recently tried to run it and help Orange Cassidy, which Trent Beretta had stopped. That's basically where this story is. It's a simple story, but it's a story nonetheless. Where I think it's the building up Trent Beretta to eventually have that match with him and Orange Cassidy and kind of see. I don't know Trent Beretta's age off the top of my head.
Could tell you. I got the Wikipedia here on my phone.
Yeah, because I'm trying to remember. Because I don't want to say young star and look like Eric Bischoff and say this guy's a young star and he's in his 40s.
37.
Okay, yeah, so not a young star.
So it's kind of just seeing what you can get out here.
Yeah, seeing basically what you can get out of a guy who's kind of in their prime of wrestling. Obviously, Trent Beretta's not I don't remember if Trent Beretta was ever in other companies I watched.
How about we say a guy that's probably doing the best work that he's done as a wrestler, or performing the best that he's done as a wrestler?
Yeah, at least of the work I've seen. Obviously, I don't know a lot of Trent Beretta, if I could speak English. Trent Beretta stuff pre AEW.
Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely think that this is going to be. I think it's pretty easy to say Trent Beretta's taking home the W here.
Yeah, and I mean, the reason why I agree with you here, Soapy, in the We Agree podcast, is mainly because, I look at it and it goes, all right, you go ahead and you turn a guy heel. Well, if you're trying to turn him heel, you want him to get a little bit of a boost. That first, big match when you're doing that, you don't want to squash him before anything gets going. So that's why to me it's like, okay, Beretta's got to win this match, because if he doesn't, then it kind of like, if he doesn't, it looks like, all right, then why should I even fear you? Like, why should the best friends fear you? Like, getting the win, best thing for the story. Let's move on from it. Seidel takes the pin, obviously, because it's a one-on-one match. But hey, buddy, you're going to go ahead. You're going to take this fat L so we can boost up Beretta. And like you said, maybe boost up the Orange Cassidy fight against Beretta in the future. So you got Beretta, I got Beretta. Last pre-show match talking about said Orange Cassidy. Orange Cassidy and Shibata are going to have a tag match against the Shane Taylor promotions of Shane Taylor and Lee Moriarty. Soapy, why should this be anything but Cassidy and Shibata?
I think it's mostly just if you were looking for a crossover for the Shane Taylor promotions to move into AEW, because they interact a lot with the AEW roster for being an ROH group.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, they kind of cross over anyways. It happens all the time. Like, there's never really a time that, like, they stay brand exclusive. I do think, though, that they are going to end up taking the L here. I think Orange Cassidy and Shibata are just basically... Shibata's kind of just thrown in here. Obviously, I may be missing something. If I am, please let me know.
Yeah.
But for the most part, basically, it's start building up Orange Cassidy and building up Trent Beretta at the same time, to where eventually when they do clash, it's not like, oh, this guy's on a losing streak. Oh, this guy keeps winning. I wonder who's going to win. Like, get it to where basically they're both looking strong. And especially with the fact of realistically, like, I don't think there's a reason you have the Shane Taylor promotions win. Like, obviously, every time they show up in AEW, they lose.
What if?
But, like, they're also not AEW talent.
What if, and I throw this out here, so we had, let's say this is, and we don't know what order they're going to be on the pre-show. Let's say this is the third match on the pre-show. What if we open, I don't know if you want to have two tag matches back to back, but have the Beretta Seidel match before this one. Beretta, after getting the win over Seidel, comes out during this match, costs Orange Cassidy and Shibata, leading that storyline forward. Like, would that be smart? Would that even make sense? Or is this just a no, let this stay, let Beretta get the win and kind of slow cook it from there?
I think it's just let them both get a win and slow cook it from there. Mostly just because, like I said, I don't think there's really a reason to give the Shane Taylor promotions like a win
dub.
here.
Yeah.
Also, just because, like, obviously, I like Lee Moriarty, I like Shane Taylor. Like, they're both good talents, but, like, they are ROH people. So it's one of those things of, like, okay, like, if this was an ROH pay-per-view,
then they'd be
go
getting
ahead,
a dub.
win. Yeah, well, I mean, they probably still would take the L. But
they would still, even on their own promotion, they would take the L.
Yeah. No, like, that's the thing. It's basically just use this as the opportunity to kind of, as I said, like, build both Orange Cassidy and Trent Beretta up.
Yeah. I'm with you. I'm going with Cassidy and Shibata as well, in case I didn't say that earlier. Then the first match we've got of the main card, we're starting out a trios match, because, we haven't had enough tag matches here in the prediction so far. Adam Copeland, Eddie Kingston, King of the Bums, and Mark Briscoe going up against the House of Black, King and Matthews. Soapy, this one was a tough one for me, and mainly because, okay, I didn't say this at the start, I'll say this now. Basically how I look at these predictions right now is when we do a WWE pay-per-view, it's kind of like a neutral site, but it's more of like, I look at that more as a home game for me, where it's like, we both focus on WWE, but that's where I can shine. That's where I'm in my comfort zone. AEW, starting to get it. Like, I used to watch nonstop, then got out of it. I'm starting to try to get into that, what's the word I'm looking for? Routine of watching every week and keeping up with it. The same I do at WWE. This is your wheelhouse. You've got the home court advantage here. So I'm sitting here with this one and I'm going, I like both of these tag teams. I could see both of these tag teams getting the win, and I'm realistically looking in my head, okay, who's going to take the pin? Who's going to lose? Because I can't decide who's going to win.
I mean, look, we already know who's taking the pin. Buddy Matthews is right there. I hate saying it, dude. I love Buddy. I honestly do. I've talked about this multiple times. Buddy is one of my favorite wrestlers. Because I don't remember what show we were watching. I know it was me and you. And I'm like, Buddy's losing this because Buddy never wins.
Yeah.
And you were like, I think it was it Andrade's last match? Or it was someone versus Buddy.
Yeah.
I don't remember exactly who it was. No, it was Daniel Garcia.
Was it?
This is what it was kind of the thing that launched into like the FTR House of Black feud.
Yes.
For a little bit there.
Yes.
Because of where Daniel Garcia beat Buddy Matthews. Because I'm like, oh, could they have Buddy finally win? I'm like, no. I'm like, never mind. This is Buddy Matthews. He's gonna get beat somehow.
He loses,
and then he lost.
He even gets tapped out by Rhea, dude.
Yeah, I mean that. He's got to calm down with some of those tweets sometimes. Those are some down horrendous tweets. I mean, fair, but
he's just trying to make us all jealous.
Yeah, I mean he succeeded, but no, I think going into this, I think this is the first one me and you disagree on.
Yes,
I believe the team of Copeland, Briscoe, and Eddie Kingston's going to win, or as I wrote down in the prediction sheet, the Cope Chicken Bums.
Is that their official name, or is that Soapy's name?
No, that's just what everyone. Okay. That's just what everyone calls them.
Cope Chicken
Bums. Basically,
Bums?
because the Briscoes are chicken farmers.
Oh, okay, and then Copeland and King of the Bums.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I think they're going to win. I think it's just because, in fact, realistically, House of Black never wins any of their feuds ever. I don't remember the last time they won one.
Yeah, and that's...
I think they technically... I mean, I think the last feud they won was when they won the Trios belt. Honestly, I'd be happy if I was wrong about this. Like, realistically, I know we're doing it we're playing for wins and things like that. But, I wouldn't be mad if they won. I love the House of Black. They are one of my favorite groups in AEW, especially with the fact of one, I just love the aesthetic they come out with. I think that's the thing I'm most looking forward to in the match itself.
Yeah.
Is I just want to see what House of Black do for their entrance.
Let's see.
I definitely think I know. Sorry, go ahead.
I was just going to say, at Revolution, on the main card, how many tag... So let's see. Christian retained. Kingston retained. Then the All-Star Scramble didn't have a title. And then Tony Storm retained. Samoa Joe retained. And then the last one. So we didn't have any change. Here's the thing I'm thinking about for this one. There's gotta be title changes, right? There doesn't have to be. But I'm sitting there going, we're not going to go with another show where everyone retains. And this one doesn't have a title. This one doesn't have a title. But I look at it in the sense of Copeland's been hot. Kingston's been hot. Briscoe's been hot. In all of their feuds right now. To where I'm trying to I've picked my spots in 2 matches, Soapy, that I'm prepared to be wrong. But I think it was either this one or the Kyle O'Reilly Roderick Strong one that I was thinking of. Because I was that's where I bring up the retains. Because I'm I almost was Kyle O'Reilly. But then I'm I don't know. And this is the one where I picked my spot. I'm going House of Black. No reason at all except for I like the House of Black and I need to do something different than you to try to gain one, but I'm okay with losing one because I have a little bit of a lead and I know I'll get it back with WWE.
Yeah, where it's definitely I mean, like I said, I'd be perfectly fine with being wrong with this one. I do agree with what everyone says of the House of Black's booking has been horrible.
Yeah.
Of obviously we're getting more Malachi Black single matches, but it's it's on Rampage, so it's I'm not
nobody watches Rampage.
Yeah, so it's one of those things of I mean we're getting them, Well, like, why Rampage? Put him anywhere else.
Hey, why not on Collision? Oh, that's right, because Collision competes with everything else, like WrestleMania Night 1.
I mean, hey, to be fair, they pulled a good number on Night 1.
Did they?
I think that was like the second highest they've been since Punk left.
Okay.
I think it was like 700,000. I think is what they pulled.
Okay, because Punk was on Night 1.
I mean, yeah.
God,
No, I think it's.
Go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I definitely think though that I think, like I said, I would not be mad if House of Black won. I think it's just realistically, I think they're going to keep the guys who have been hot this whole time going. And realistically, we're probably going to get something of where like Brody King's going to be, the big fat boy in the group. And he's going to run into fat boy of the other group, Eddie Kingston. And then they'll do something with that. But I definitely think that the Cope Chicken Bums are going to definitely come out with the W.
Yeah, I'm going House of Black just to be different, and there's none other than that. The next match, I don't think we even need to really talk about it. I just think we need to say who wins, because it's an FTW rules match for the FTW Championship match. Hook versus Jericho. This is Hook all the way, baby. Hook's going to win. Yeah. Hook's getting ready because Jinder's going to come out here. No. Jinder's got a 90-day don't compete clause. He's gearing up for Jinder. And he's like, in 90 days, I'm going to fight Jinder Mahal. Let's go.
Yeah. I mean, the real losers of this match are the fans, because we have to watch Chris Jericho. Like, why is this match on the main card?
Because Tony Khan still thinks Jericho's a name.
Oh, I think it's probably because Chris Jericho probably threw a crybaby whine fit.
Yeah.
Like, it just stop booking him on the main shows. Put him on the pre-show. He stinks. No one likes seeing him anymore. Please. I'm begging you. At this point, Tony Khan, just fire him.
Talk about a guy who doesn't talk about a guy who doesn't know when to hang it up.
I mean, at this point, like, he's not as bad as what Flair was. Like, as much as people will talk about how bad Jericho has been, nothing will ever get as bad as Flair. If we're watching, like, 75-year-old Flair, like, almost die in the ring, actually.
You know
like
what?
Chris Jericho, who, like, can still kind of do stuff.
This might be a controversial opinion, and I know that there was Flair had lost his confidence, and a big reason for it was like him being a part of this was to get that confidence back and Trips believing in him. But I almost look at Jericho now and go, he should probably transition into a managerial spot, i.e. Ric Flair in Evolution.
Yeah. Like, I think it's the problem is, and we can get to this on like
ego?
An episode of like a podcast. Yeah. It's one of those things of where it's like, because it's like the quote that Chris Jericho had, and I mean, I'll speed through it because, obviously we're on predictions. We're not here to talk just about Chris Jericho. But like, of where he was like, oh, like people, like when I retire, people will be calling me the GOAT, but now they want me to go away. It's like, yes, because you suck. Literally, his last good match was because Will Ospreay carried his fat self through the match.
Yeah.
That's his last good match. And now people would be like, but that was just a year ago. Because it's Will Ospreay. Will Ospreay could carry a wheelchair to a great match.
Yeah, I look at it and I go, this is one of, why did we need it on? And I'm going with Hook, and I think we're both going with Hook, and that's it. That's all it's got to be. That's all it's got to be. The next one is for the International Championship. I kind of played my hand, Soapy, because this was one, I almost picked my spot here, because I was like, you know what? We've got to have some title changes. Roderick Strong, Kyle O'Reilly, there's backstory here. I'm interested to see what they do with this match, how they come out of this match. I almost went with Kyle O'Reilly, but then I said, you know what? I'm not picking that many spots. I'm going with House of Black. So this one, I went Roderick Strong to retain.
Yeah, I went Roddy as well. Mostly just because the fact that Roddy basically just got the belt. And it seems like they're going to start trying to gear up towards the Undisputed Kingdom winning some more gold. From I mean, obviously, who knows how long that actually goes for? Because obviously, we got
Cole's
the report
injury.
that Adam Cole's. Yeah, because we got the report of Cole's not even close to being ready yet.
Yeah.
Which it's like, damn, dude, how bad was that ankle injury?
Mm-hmm.
That it happened, what, in November of, like, October, November of last year?
Yeah, and he's still out.
And, yeah, and what, in 6 months, it'll be a year since then? And we're getting reports of, like, he's not even close to being ready?
Yeah. Is there a chance that he never wrestles again?
I think he comes back. I think I don't think it's that serious of an injury.
Mm-hmm.
Because realistically, like, that would have been like, if it was that bad of an injury, like, we would hear, like, there's legit, like, he's not gonna, like, if they were like, yeah, no, like, it is still insanely far away.
Yeah.
I'm saying not being close, because he's talked about it before. Like, he can move around now. Like, he still kind of needs, like, the crutches and everything.
Yeah.
But, like, realistically, like, he's probably just not ready to do, like, in-ring stuff, especially with the fact of, like, I wouldn't be surprised if he doesn't do moves like the Panama Sunrise afterwards. Just because realistically, like, I mean, you gotta jump and put all your weight onto your ankle.
Yeah.
Or, like, I wouldn't be surprised if moves like that go away when he comes back. But I definitely think this is an injury that we'll see when Cole comes back. And we're gonna see, like, how his style changes.
We'll see a different.
I don't think it's
Cole,
a career
basically.
ender; it's an alterer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and like
I still think we'll see the last shot, but
that's why for me in this one, I'm just like, you know what, Roddy retains. Like, if Kyle O'Reilly first off, if Kyle O'Reilly wins, does that kind of, I don't want to say the B word, but like, does it hurt the Undisputed Kingdom?
I think it would. I definitely think it would hurt them. It wouldn't bury them because they are still one of the strongest factions in AEW.
Yeah.
Because the whole thing is, like, as much as, you know, we all love to throw around the word buried.
I was going to say earlier,
can't be buried at the same time.
Another reason why I gave Bullet Club Gold the win is I am sick and tired of, it's the same Twitter account and I can't remember who it was. It's the dude that's got, you know who he is. He's the guy that I think has Edge as his display picture.
Yeah, it's Rockers.
Yeah.
Exactly
it's the same picture every time. Buried. It's Jay White. It's like he's not buried.
Like, mind you, I will say, I agree. Jay White's booking has not been great.
But he's not buried.
Like, yeah, people need to understand what buried actually means. Like, I need you guys.
Oh, right? He lost buried. Oh, he lost buried. Oh, that's an out buried. I need you guys
to go do a homework assignment for me real quick. All right, for all of you that want to throw on the Jay White buried, go look up what Zack Ryder was going through in WWE. I want you guys to just, you know, go and see that.
Oh,
you know, like,
Zack Ryder or Kurt Hawkins?
Both.
Honestly, how many losses did he have in a row, Kurt Hawkins?
A lot.
That made for a great WrestleMania moment, though, dude.
Yeah, it was a great moment. It's a damn shame we had to go through all of it to get to it.
Yeah.
But, like, when people say buried, it bothers me because it's like losing matches is not being buried. Like, if you want to see buried, go look at what they were doing to Zack Ryder. When Zack Ryder got put into, I know this is a word YouTube doesn't like, I don't care. When he got put into a angle, when he got pushed off the stage in a wheelchair by Kane, I don't know how his legs didn't just explode upon hitting the ground to start with.
Yeah.
He was actively punished for using a YouTube channel. Like, you want to talk about buried, you talk about the fact that realistically, look what Matt Cardona is doing on the Indies right now.
King of the Indies. He's basically doing what Cody Rhodes did.
Yeah. Well, except he didn't need Bullet Club for it, but I don't want to sound too much like a hater. But no, like, realistically, like, look at what he does now, and I know people would be like, he does Mud Show Indie Outlaw. Guys, for the love of everything holy and anything that happens, get a new word. Right? We understand. You guys listen to Jim Cornette. I don't care. Find literally any other word but Mud Show Indie Outlaw. Literally. One other one. I don't care. I don't care what other podcaster you have to take it from. Because if I hear one more time, Plumber, if I hear one more time, Indie Outlaw Mud Show, I'm going to lose it. because these are the same people that they watch one podcast. And mind you, I know like it's hypocritical because we're a podcast.
I mean,
blah, blah, blah.
hopefully we become the one podcast.
Yeah, but also at the same time, I'm not asking you guys to be like, oh, guys, I actually hate this wrestler. Did you guys know he participates in Indie Mudlaw Out Show? Like, shut up. Like, just go away. All right? No one cares. No one cares you listen to Jim Cornette. I understand you guys don't watch wrestling and you guys just listen to Old Man Jim.
Old Man Jim.
I watch Jim Cornette. I honestly do. I know, it's crazy to think that you can watch someone that you don't agree with. You also don't see me being like, Plumber Moxley. Shut up. Moxley's better than 99% of your favorites, buddy. Check yourself, alright?
Oh, especially when he's holding that, what is it, the IGP?
Yeah, IWGP.
IWG. I knew there was a W in there. I always get that wrong. IWGP, that great belt, the winged belt.
Still not the best design for it, but I do love that someone's like, I didn't know Moxley was holding the Divas belt because it kind of looks like a butterfly. I was man, we don't have to call it the butterfly belt, but like it does kind of look like it.
Speaking of Divas, we got a women's match next, Soapy. That's the segue. Moving us back into Dynasty. Julia Hart, TBS champion. House Rules match between Julia Hart, Willow Nightingale. This is another one, Soapy. You're gonna have to help me fill in the blanks here because after the moaning episode that she had, I'm kind of lost on the storyline a little bit. Now, I've got Julia Hart retaining because I think they're gonna continue to build her up. Wasn't there a thing going between Nightingale and Mercedes Moné about a feud, or is that now over because of the moaning thing and her getting attacked?
No. So the feud stems from when Mercedes first went to Stardom. She had a match with Willow Nightingale and Willow hurt her.
Oh, okay.
Like, because that was when you probably saw the clip of it. If I'm remembering the clip correctly, obviously someone correct me and tell me I'm saying it wrong because you guys will anyway.
So this is like a Ridge Holland, like the injury is a part of the storyline now?
It's not so much to the Ridge Holland level of like, we're like, oh, it actually ended a career. Yeah, of like, it was a bad injury. Like, she was out for a whole year because like she like fell off the top turnbuckle and like she landed on the ground with like one foot. So basically, her entire body weight landed on her foot. So like, that was bad. But that's been the main crux of their kind of disagreements with one another.
Okay.
Of kind of Mercedes wants to get back at her in a sense. Over like Willow's character is a lot of times, like she's trying to be the super upbeat, nice one.
Yeah.
Because like realistically, if you've watched a lot of the stuff that they've done with Chris Statlander, Willow, and Stokely.
Okay.
Over kind of Willow it plays into that a little bit. Obviously, I don't want to get too far into it because then I got to explain that whole side of the storyline.
Yeah.
But essentially, the main crux is Mercedes doesn't like Willow because she hurt her. That's the main crux of why she doesn't like her.
Yeah.
But it's obviously Willow's trying to do the, like, look, bygones be bygones. Like, I'm the nice one. Like, I'm super friendly. Yeah. Also, with the match, I have Julia winning as well. I think Willow is going to be a champ at some point. She's really good. She's one of the better women's wrestlers in the world. I know people are going to be like, boy, you just said she hurt someone. One, injuries happen. It sucks, but they do happen.
Yeah.
But realistically, I could see a world where Willow walks out of this looking strong. Because realistically, what they're probably going to do is Sky Blue will probably be at ringside for Julia. And she'll probably help Julia win in some way, shape, or form. Because realistically, like, I don't know who's going to be the one to take the belt off Julia.
Yeah.
But I think you keep Julia kind of as I don't want to say the crown jewel of, like, the House of Black itself.
No, we're going to Saudi? We're going to Saudi?
No, not Saudi! No! But no, I think that's the direction to go, to kind of keep her still, like, the shining beacon of the group. Because realistically, like, if you told someone when AEW started, hey, Julia Hart's going to be, like, the most important person out of her group, which, I mean, mind you, her old group stinks.
She's part of the House of Black.
Well, no. Pre-House of Black.
Oh, okay.
Do you remember who she was in a group with?
Oh, no, but I'm going to try to guess anyways. Was she with Penelope Ford?
Nope.
No?
It was two guys.
It was two guys. Who was she with?
I'll give you the point if you can get at least one of them.
Can I get a hint?
They're both blonde.
The Guns?
No.
No. They're both blonde?
One of them has a match with Edge, and one of them is no longer in the company.
So, wait, one of them has a match against Edge? So one of them is...
one of them had a match against Edge.
Oh, okay. Daniel Garcia? No. Is it?
Oh, Daniel Garcia's never been blonde.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Wasn't there like the blonde rockers or something, or am I going way too far? That's the Stone Cold Steve Austin tag team name.
They were both blonde. They had a very 90s and 80s tag team name.
Yeah. I totally now remember them because they were basically based off of the tag team that Stone Cold had when he had the long blonde hair. Am I wrong? Like they based them right off
based off of that.
Oh, was it the something rockers, wasn't it? Or surfers or Oh, now this is bugging me because now I know exactly, like, I can picture them in my head.
One of the members, I don't think you'd guess his name. Don't focus on the one that I matched with Edge, because that's the one you're not going to guess.
I'm not even thinking about that. I'm thinking about, I remember their look, and I remember them having that, like, 80s, 90s, like, blonde rocker look.
So, I'll focus on the one that I know you'll be able to get if I give you enough hints.
Not the Headbangers.
He had a feud with... Oh, the Headbangers is an old group.
Yeah.
I know, obviously, people are like, guys, this is predictions, whatever. I want to run Ricky through the ringer to see if you remember
This is fun. I enjoy this. I don't know how many other people enjoy this.
So let's focus on the one that's not in the company anymore.
Yeah.
That's the one you'll get. I guarantee as soon as I give you enough hints on it, you will get it.
He's with the company,
At one point... Oh, he is not with AEW.
Okay. So the one that had a match with Edge, he's with the company.
I will tell you this right now. I'll tell you the other guy's name. It was Griff Garrison. You were never going to get Griff Garrison.
Never was going to get that.
I already knew you weren't going to get him. So, this other person, at one point had a feud with one of the biggest names in the company, where it did not benefit either of them. But it did lead to one of the more savage things that have ever been said on AEW.
Brian Pillman? No, he's not with the company was the other anymore. One. It's the Varsity Blondes. I told you,
he's not with AEW.
Oh, it's the Varsity Blondes.
Yeah. I told you.
She was at the Varsity Blondes? The guy I'm trying to get you.
Yeah, she was the cheerleader.
She was the cheerleader in the Varsity Blondes?
Yeah. Imagine telling someone that group that Julia Hart's... Yep. Imagine telling someone that, the cheerleader's the one who becomes the best star out of the three of them.
I mean, hey, let's not put any disrespect on Lexus King, okay? Well, Soapy Muffin.
We're putting every ounce of disrespect on Lexus King.
Well, Soapy Muffins.
I mean, hey, I guess Lexus gets to be happy he's the second
best.
He's the middle one, like, because no one cares about Griff Garrison.
Yeah, I wouldn't even know his name. Wow, because I remember that tag team and being like, wow, it reminds me of something from like WCW, like 80s, 80s wrestling, 90s WCW. Wow. Yeah, I could remember their faces. I just couldn't come up with the name until they did, because they reminded me of, I think their name was like the something Rockers, the Stone Cold group from WCW when he had the long blonde hair before he shaved it all off.
That's like the dark age of wrestling. No one ever remembers that beside old people.
Soapy, the next two matches, I think we're going to combine together. And the reason why. So we've got singles match, Okada versus Pac for the, I believe it's for the Continental title. Yes, for the Continental Championship. Then we have the Young Bucks and FTR for the vacated tag titles. Here's what I'm thinking coming into this. At first, I was going to be like, okay, pick your spot here. FTR, champions. They're not going to put them on the Young Bucks after the All-In footage. Then I'm like, wait. The Young Bucks have a thing going with Okada. If Okada's going to retain, then the Young Bucks are going to win. They're going to want gold on both Okada and the Young Bucks to make their little faction, the Elite, seem like they're important. That's why I've got Okada beating Pac in a great match, the Young Bucks beating FTR.
I got the same thing. I have the Elite sweeping up most of the gold.
Mm-hmm.
Especially with the fact of realistically as well. I talked about it with you pre-show where we didn't mention it on camera. I mean, realistically, Pac Okada has the chance of just being match of the night.
Yep.
Like, that's the sleeper hit.
That is not going to be... That is not my prediction for match of the night, but go ahead. We'll get to my match of the night.
It's not my prediction of the match of the night either. That one's
I think
the main one.
I think you and I might have the same pick for match of the night.
Yeah, I wonder who it could possibly feature.
I wonder who it could too.
Yeah. But no, I think it's we're going to get the Elite sweeping up the gold.
Mm-hmm.
And in the Young Bucks match, I believe we see Jack Perry comes back to AEW.
Joins the Elite.
Because we've heard reports that he's on his way back. They keep bringing him up all the time.
Mm-hmm.
And with the fact of realistically, I think they're going to want to ride the wave of the footage getting posted. Because I made the joke to you that, like, when people had mentioned, like, oh, like, the posting the footage didn't really do anything. I'm like, it got people to actually care about Jack Perry.
Yeah.
So, like, it did something.
It did something. It definitely did.
Because, especially for anyone who may have watched the Windy City Riot, like, he had Chicago actually chanting his name.
Yeah.
Like, people were cheering for him. Like, the fact that, like, he went... obviously, I know it's the New Japan crowd.
In Punk territory, Soapy?
Yeah, mind you, people vastly also overblew that, too. Like, people gotta realize, New Japan crowds are not the same as WWE crowds.
Yeah.
It would have, like, stormed the ring and tried to blow up the ring as long as he was in the ring.
Yeah. Jeez.
Well, like, let's be real here. They would have done that. But, like... realistically, they're gonna bring him back, sweep him into this to where basically it's like, hey, we get all of the heel heat in one group, or it's like hey, you don't like us, we're doing our job. Now, obviously, I know people are gonna be like, but guys, go away heat, blah 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 blah. I'm not gonna pick and choose when go away heat matters, because I won't forget when you guys kept saying. I'm not saying you specifically, but like, primarily like mostly WWE fans.
Yeah.
When people were like, but no, guys, go away heat's not that bad. Isn't it really good that, like when X-Pac used to get it? Wow, X-Pac was a great heel. People wanted him to go away.
Go away.
I'm not letting you guys get over that. I'm not letting you guys forget it.
Who currently has go away heat?
This.
I'm trying to think who is go away heat. Well, Roman started to get it at the end. For the us.
Yeah, Roman started. Yeah, Roman started to get it a little bit. I had it with Karrion Kross.
Yeah.
Just because I'm like, he stinks. Send him to Taiwan at this point. I don't care. But I was like, I'm trying to think.
Charlotte had go away.
The Judgment Day started
people.
getting it.
Okay.
Yeah, Judgment Day had it for a hot minute.
Until the Dom Rhea thing kind of revigorized it? Or
and then even that, a little bit after that, it's just, they're kind of getting it now, but it's also, it's the weird mixture of like, the Dom Rhea stuff had kind of ran its course. They started to fade away from each other in storyline. And then people are starting to be like, dude, this is boring. Can you guys get this off our screen? And then R-Truth showed up and they're like, hey, we like it again.
We like it again. Hey, R-Truth made it fun again.
And now R-Truth's gone and they're like, oh, crap.
But Awesome Truth is back.
Yeah. As much as I don't want that. But
so, we got 2 matches left, Soapy. I'm going to ask you, well, it doesn't matter, but the next match, Will Ospreay, Bryan Danielson. I talked about 2 seconds ago what match of the night will probably be.
Yeah, this is like basically a lock.
This is it. Like, there was a part of me that when you said, like, when you were like, oh, I think we got, and I'm sitting there, I'm looking at you, I'm like, please agree with me and say Ospreay, Danielson.
Yeah.
Please don't say Joe Swerve.
Yeah, no, it's definitely I do think this is going to be match of the night. Like, there's a very rare chance that I think this isn't match of the night.
Mm-hmm.
It's mostly just because the fact that, one, these are two of the best wrestlers in the world right now, at least purely in ring, before someone's like, but there's more to wrestling than inside the ring. Beside those people coming out of the woodwork, I don't care. Shut up. But, like,
this is going to be a technical masterpiece.
Yeah. Like, we're going to see some stuff of where it's like, I didn't even know he could do that.
I didn't even know he could do that.
Because, no, I definitely think that this is a prime candidate for match of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Is there a chance it's not great? Yes, I mean, there's a chance for every match to not be great.
Yeah.
Like, realistically, it happens. Like, sometimes, I mean, like, hell, look at Randy John Cena for, like, 15 years. You couldn't squeeze, a good match out of those two if you tried. Well, like, I know people are going to be like, wow, taking shots at WWE. Trust me, AEW has doo-doo matches, too. Yeah. I'm just using an easy example.
Yeah.
But, like, that's why I was saying, like, I think Okada and Pac have a really good chance of also being match of the night.
Mm-hmm.
Because realistically, the fact of, one, that's just going to be insane. Pac is insane. Like, with this match with Okada and Daniel Bryan, or Bryan Danielson, sorry, my bad.
DB.
Before I get crucified.
BD.
Yeah. Like, I think this is definitely going to be one of those matches of where, like, if there's any reason for you to watch the pay-per-view, it's this match.
Yeah.
Like, even if, like, you don't care about AEW whatsoever, like, watch this match because the fact of realistically, you will start to see why people love Will Ospreay.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if you are a person who's not sold on how good Ospreay is, watching this...
How he's afraid of the grind, Soapy.
Yeah, he's afraid of the grind, but then, we just had the former tribal chief was like, I'm going to Hollywood, so he's afraid of the grind. Ozo, loser, if you will.
He put in enough of the grind. He's earned a break. Yeah, no, really, he's earned a break. I don't care if I don't ever see him again.
Yeah, I know someone's going to be like, wow, still bringing up that, blah, blah, blah. Shut up, whatever. It's a joke. Like, no, I definitely think it's we're going to see just how good these two are. And I have Will Ospreay walking away from the match with a win.
Yeah, I've got Ospreay. Like, this is let's put over Ospreay. How many times can we put over Ospreay before All In?
Yeah, especially with the fact of realistically, I'm interested in who they're going to have him fight when we get to All In.
Yeah. Well, I mean, let me see. I was thinking,
I'm like, maybe Swerve, but I'm like, I mean, like, I would probably... I'm trying to think, because, I mean, Swerve would be an option. I don't think you'd have him go to London just to lose, though, because I don't think Swerve's title reign ends that quickly.
Well, here's the thing. All In's in August. Between now and All In, we've got Double or Nothing in May. That's going to be in Paradise, Nevada, at the MGM Grand Golden Arena. And then in June, we have Forbidden Door between AEW and New Japan. So it's like he'll have a match at Double or Nothing against someone. We'll probably maybe have a match that he's had with somebody in New Japan and have him and someone from New Japan at Forbidden Door. And then All In.
Realistically, we can make a prediction for what we're gonna have at.
Yeah. I'm just saying, that's what we have until All In.
Yeah, or definitely, I think as well. At some point from here to All In, we're gonna get him leaving the Don Callis family fully, because he hasn't done it yet.
Mm-hmm.
Which I know they were like, oh, he's going to quickly leave it, which it's like, okay, come on, guys. You know what the word quickly means. That doesn't mean, in 6 months. That means, a month. Mm-hmm. But, I definitely think by All In, he's out on his own. Mm-hmm. Realistically, he'll probably have Kyle Fletcher with him. He'll have, I think it's Mark Davis is the other guy from Aussie Open.
Yep, Mark Davis and Kyle Fletcher.
He'll basically have United Kingdom again. Yeah, to where basically, at that point, it's all right, cool. We just gave Ospreay the same group he had in New Japan.
Mm-hmm.
Let's run it.
Do they have two different names? Because I thought they were United Empire.
It's Empire. I don't know why I said United Kingdom.
Because you got Undisputed Kingdom. Because I said UE.
No, I think there's another group called United Kingdom. I think.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
The actual country, the United Kingdom.
Well, I know there's an actual country. I'm talking about the wrestling group. I'm not going to be like, yeah, guys, the Czech Republic, that tag team.
Let me look it up. Wrestling Tag United Kingdom. That's going to bring up, yeah. The UKPW is what that brought up.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, it's probably just United Empire. I don't know why. I think it's just because Will Ospreay's British. Every single time, I'm just like, oh, UK, British people, UK.
I got it right here. I'm an adult. Thank you. The United Kingdom was Sheamus, Drew McIntyre, William Regal, and Wade Barrett.
That's where I kept getting it mixed up.
That was the United Kingdom.
That's where I kept getting it from.
From 2010.
I mean, hey, random callback, I guess.
So he's going back to 2010 wrestling, the United Kingdom.
Yeah, only just going back, if you want to feel old, only going back 14 years.
Yeah, only going back 14 years. So both of us have Ospreay in this one, correct?
Yeah.
I totally skipped over one, Soapy, so we're going to do both the tag match, or both the title matches last. One that I skipped over, Timeless Toni Storm versus Thunder Rosa in a singles match for the Women's World Championship. Soapy, this is where I have my other, where I'm taking a shot to try to get a dub here. Toni Storm, your reign has been great. Your time is over, though, as world champion. Thunder Rosa's back. She's going to hold the belt.
I mean, I respect it. You're wrong, but I respect it.
Tell me why I'm wrong.
So I think what they're going to be doing, I think they're going to prepare for Mariah May to be the person to take the belt off of her.
Okay. Mariah May is currently with Toni Storm, right?
She's the one who keeps dressing up as like the old Toni Storm. That everyone at first was like, wait. Like, we got old Tony, and then we're like, wait, hold up.
Mm-hmm.
We got bamboozled the first time they did it.
Yeah.
Like, no, I think I think that Toni Storm is going to retain here. Mm-hmm. I think they are going to build up to Mariah May being the next AEW Women's Champion. Because I think that they're going to have eventually, like, whether they do, like, a jealousy angle, or whether they do just some other way to explain, like, why one or the other turns on each other.
Yeah.
Basically, like, I think that they're going to go the route of, like, Mariah May basically it's like the student becoming the master sort of thing. Mm-hmm. Because that's kind of the story they've been telling with them.
Yeah.
Of where every time, like, Mariah May does something, Toni Storm is like, oh, you're finally learning! Oh, I can't believe it! Like,
yeah.
She's doing the Hollywood starlet thing. Mm-hmm. She's like, oh, I'm so proud my protege's finally learning.
Yeah.
Where, like, I think it's going to turn into a situation of she's going to then be like, Mariah May is going to turn everything she learned from Toni back onto Toni and be like, hey, I'm basically you, but better now. Mm-hmm. I think it's the route they're going to go. So that's why I have Timeless Toni Storm. Her reign still ends up being timeless.
You know what, Soapy? You did something to me. I'm changing.
He's changing. Changed it live on the show, ladies and gentlemen.
Well, okay, not locked in yet because we're still recording. Toni Storm is going to win. You sold me on it because you're like, I'm like, you know what? I didn't think about that. However, I'm taking my shot somewhere else, and we only got one more chance for you to take my shot because I was originally going to pick it. The swerve job of the century, Samoa Joe versus Swerve. I thought I was going to go with Swerve, Soapy. I said, ooh, I'm picking Swerve. Guess what? I didn't wear this shirt for nothing, brother. I didn't pull back the Hulkamaniacs for nothing, brother. It's going to be the clutch of destruction, brother. Joe.
I love, by the way, just so you guys know, like a pre-show, like peeling the curtain back thing. Ricky was like, I gotta wear a shirt to support my boy. And he's like, wait, I have Swerve winning.
Yeah. Yep.
Like, I need you guys to understand that is like a genuine, actual on-the-spot flip from Ricky here. Well, like, I mean,
I literally had
I
Swerve written
respect
on my
it.
sheet.
Yeah, I definitely think I'm going Swerve. I do think there is a reality that Joe wins, and I think that they'll do in some, mind you, I will say it's going to be a stupid way they do it, at least with the way I'm predicting, is that Hangman's going to get involved somehow. As much as they did the whole, like, Hangman's suspended because he beat the crap out of, like, 5 refs.
Yeah.
Like, there's just something in my head of, like, Hangman's gonna find some way to cost Swerve, if that's the reality they're going with, of Swerve losing.
And
I also think, though, at the same
here's
time,
another reason why I switched very quickly. You were talking about Swerve. Oh, if he wins, I don't think they have the reign as short as All In. If they give it to Swerve, he's only going to have a title reign from now until August. You keep it on Joe, we get to August. Oh, that's a good title reign for Joe. Will Ospreay can be champion.
yeah, I think that's a reality. It's my thing is though, like, I think Joe was the perfect, like, placeholder champ.
Yep.
Over realistically, like, Joe's one of those guys as well. You got to kind of be careful. Joe's had a lot of injury history, where it's like you don't want to run into the situation of, like, his reign going too long and then he gets hurt. Yeah.
I just had a great idea, and I don't know if Tony Khan is this smart. You have Joe win Dynasty. Swerve goes double or nothing at the next one. Get it? Double or nothing. I either win the... like, basically, you could do a triple threat and have Hangman in there, but basically it could be a title versus, like, company kind of thing, where Swerve goes, I'm leaving AEW if I lose that title. Double or nothing. I want a rematch, and if I don't win, I have nothing.
Yeah. They don't tend to do stuff like that a lot.
But if they did,
especially like in the last 2 years or so. Like, I think striking the iron while it's hot, especially right now, kind of with the, I don't want to say turmoil that AEW's in,
you
but
think
kind
if,
of like the topsy-turvy.
You think if Joe wins, the Swerve fans are going to go like, oh, I knew we weren't
because that's the thing, because it's how... Yeah, because it's that situation of, like, how long until, like, people start to cool down on Swerve. Because obviously people have loved Swerve.
Yeah.
Like, realistically, as much as, like, for instance, people may not have liked his match against Hangman, like the death match one, much as people may not have liked that, people liked the story. But the people who acted like they didn't like the story weren't watching, and you're clowns, and I know you weren't watching.
But 1 month isn't going to kill you, because, like, what, you've got...
No, I think it's the only... The reason I think, though, that it would be that kind of, like... I'm trying to find a way to explain it. To me, I look at it as, like, yes, it may only be a month, but there's also that side part, and this is personally where I view it from, of so much in wrestling can change in a month.
Yeah.
Because realistically, like, who knows, like, what could happen? Because the entire landscape of the company could change in a month. Like, that's the thing with wrestling that I always love, of where, like, realistically, like, yeah, we kind of know what's going to happen. No matter what happens, as much as people will try to be like, well, it's best when you can't predict it. We always can tell. Like, that's why it's like 90% of the time you can get predictions 100% right. But that's why it's one of the things that I honestly believe is striking the iron while it's most hot. Because realistically, so many people want Swerve to win here.
Yeah.
Because realistically, I think, one, like, Joe's not like a heel. Like, compared to kind of where Swerve's at, he kind of plays the heel a little bit. Because he kind of plays like the gatekeeper of, like, I'm the thing that keeps, you know, like, anyone from the title. That's me. I also look at it as of, like, how the rest of the card is played out at this point. We have the Elite getting all the belts. Which it's like, oh no, all the bad guys have all the belt, like, have at least 2 sets of belts now. Like, I think it's finishing the night with a fan favorite finally hitting that peak is something that would be really big for them. Especially with the fact of, like I said, kind of with the turmoil that AEW's in, of, like, realistically, as much as I love Joe, Joe's a very forgettable champ.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not trying to be mean. I love Samoa Joe. He is one of my favorites of all time.
Mm-hmm.
But like out of all the AEW champs, he is pretty forgettable.
Mm-hmm.
Where I think it's getting Swerve, who's a guy that even people who don't like AEW are interested in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, especially with the fact of one, Swerve does a lot of outside media stuff.
Yeah.
And like Joe doesn't really do. Because the main outside media thing Joe did was there's a video of him dancing at a concert.
Mm-hmm.
And then he did Twisted Metal. Those are the
Yeah.
only two things. Like, Swerve performed at Coachella, or I think it was Coachella. He performed somewhere.
Yeah.
Like, he performs music, he goes on radio shows, he goes on podcasts, he does all of that. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Swerve is the perfect guy to be like, all right, 2024 is the year of Swerve. Especially because then also, you pay off all the people that are like, hey, like, one, it becomes, I believe just thinking off the top of my head, he becomes the first black AEW champion, or at least world champ. Because obviously, like, Hobbs has held belts before, and kind of,
The
other
Acclaimed.
talent across the board have held belts as well. Yeah. The Acclaimed, Hobbs, I think those may be the only two off the top of my head. I could be wrong. But, like, best thing, it's that big crowning moment of, like, okay, we crowned Swerve. Keith Lee was also a tag champ. I forgot about that. But, like, kind of, you
Swerve
get that
and
big
Glory.
crowning moment at the end of the night. Yeah. You basically get that big crowning moment at the end of the night. Of where it's like, this is where we want to lead the company this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Logan is the champs. I didn't think about that. Like, the only thing I can't get out of my head, though, is, and I'll ask you, what is the percentage in your head that Will Ospreay doesn't win the championship in August at All In?
I don't even think in August he'll be fighting for the belt.
So you don't need, like...
I think by that point, what they'll be doing is they'll probably have whatever his group ends up being with him and Aussie Open versus the Don Callis family.
Okay. You know what else I think?
That's what he'll be doing.
You know what else I think is kind of weird now that I look at it? I get why, because All In, All Out, they're kind of the same. But, like, they're back-to-back weekends. All In, and then the next week is All Out.
Yeah.
So
typically, it's like the other half of the brand goes then.
Yeah. So to me, it's like, okay, if the title match is at All In, it's probably not, we're not going to probably get a title match at All Out then.
Yeah. It's the main big matches will be at All In, and then like one or two of them will be saved for All Out.
Because the thing I'm thinking about, and this plays into this because of how short or how long you want Swerve's title reign to be in an ultimately perfect world. At World's End, the idea that you have said comes into it. Even though, like, I know Full Gear, you said Newark, New Jersey. World's End, it's whoever you got champ, Ospreay, Swerve, either one. End of the night, whoever's the champ retains, and then you just hear, bam. And the last, like, just MJF is back for his title.
Yeah. Yeah. I definitely think if MJF comes back, I think he goes right into stuff with the United Kingdom, or the Undisputed Kingdom. I think he goes right into stuff with them. Mostly just because I feel like that'd be kind of weird if he just kind of ignored, like, hey, the guy who beat the ever-living hell out of me.
But to do that, does Adam Cole need to be healthy?
I don't think so. I think he could feud with the group itself. Because realistically, I know one half of his old group from MLW signed with TNA, and they kind of have a working relationship with TNA. Weird, like Rocky,
not like WWE, of course, right?
Yeah, where WWE's just like, you get the guys we don't want to re-sign.
Like Mustafa.
And we get the people on your brand that have value.
Like Jordan Grace.
Like it's a win-win, and everyone's like, that's not a win-win. They're like, well, too bad, buddy.
It's not a win-win? Oh, by win-win, I meant win-win for us.
Yeah, it's like, it's a win for me, and it's a win for us. Not for you. I'm already prepped someone's going to call me a hater for that.
Oh, no, they will. They definitely will. And then they'll loop me into it too, even though the version of the... So here's the thing, Soapy. Here's what's going to happen. You're going to get labeled a hater. I'm going to get labeled a hater by proxy, even though the version of Samoa Joe's shirt I'm wearing is his WWE shirt and not his AEW shirt.
Yeah, I mean, don't worry. I'm going to get labeled a hater
about that.
No matter
How
what.
old is this shirt? This is probably from the Wendy those days.
I was gonna say. So what? That's like 5-6 years ago.
Yeah. There's probably YouTube videos of me in this shirt from like 2015.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely a chance.
There is, because I've definitely worn this shirt on podcasts. There's fast breaks with it. I know that for sure.
Oh man, that's an oldie then.
It's an oldie. Yeah, but to wrap everything up, you got Swerve, I've got Joe.
Yep.
So basically, we agree on everything but what? Joe and House of Black? I think were the two spots I took my shots.
Yeah, I mean, let's see. Do I make up any of the gap?
Well, you can only make up two. I'll still be in the lead. I strategically wanted to keep my lead.
I'd rather have a 1 point gap than a 3.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if I lose 2 here, I'll just gain it at Backlash.
Who knows? Maybe I get everything right at Backlash.
Hey, maybe you do. Maybe I picked the same things as you because I picked to be right and not wrong.
At that point, I'm going to have to start purposely picking things that I think are going to be wrong. Oh, it's going to get real competitive if it gets to that.
Somebody's like, I really put myself into a hole with the WrestleMania. Whoa. But this is where you guys come in. Let us know down below what you guys think.
One time I put my faith in the Tribal Chief. Look what he does to me.
That's why you never put your faith in the Tribal Queef. But let us know what you guys think down below in the comment section. Hit that sub button. If you love this and want to get more of our wrestling content, you can on our YouTube channel. Make sure to hit that like button as well. Patreon's down below. Discord's down below. Soapy and I will be live. I did not say this earlier. Obviously, we wanted to get this out sooner rather than later, but this week has kind of been a scheduling hell, I will say, because for me, NFL draft coming up, we got a lot of stuff on the sports side that needed attendance too. Soapy and I will be live for Dynasty, so go ahead. We'll be live on the YouTube channel for AEW Dynasty. Should be a great card. Can't wait when Joe retains and puts Swerve in his place, which is not the championship. It's down there in the mid card. You can be an international championship, Swerve. Joe is the main champion.
Yeah, no, Swerve's going to teach Joe how to swerve when he drives, when he's champ.
Prince Nana going to have Dance of the Night too.
Absolutely.
Dance of the Night.
Unless Daniel Garcia finds some way to show up.
But let us know what you guys think down below. And as always, have a good day, everybody.
Bye.
As always, we'd like to thank the people who make these videos possible, our patrons whose names are displayed on the screen now. If you'd like to become a patron, click the link in the description below. And if you'd like to check out another video from MVP Entertainment, hit the video in the upper left. As always, thanks for watching.